steering's like so light, I could steer it with my tongue. The gear stick is so sweet and slick, I could probably blow it into gear. Whoa, look at that acceleration. Bosh! View out the back window, load of rubbish. Hi, Aid from Rev Monkey here. Now here's a video I was not expecting to make. Nissan Qashqai, the antithesis of what I usually like in a car. I'm a confirmed certified petrolhead. If there was a medication for it, I should probably be on it. This video is about, can a petrolhead like myself, with some outrageously nice driver's cars, actually appreciate, get on with, or even like a car such as a family orientated SUV. I'll compare it in the usual metrics as I do with sports cars, bearing in mind, of course, this isn't a sports car. So I'll come from a different angle. And one thing you can be sure of, I have no agenda here. I'll be brutally honest and I'll call it as it is. So without further ado, let's have a further look at the car, inside, outside, and me driving it, and let's see what I really think about it. I mean, it's a bloody good seller. Not a bad looking car, actually. These wheels are quite interesting. Give it a bit of je ne sais quoi. Hey, how hard is it to do that? Amazing boot space. I did actually put my bicycle in here, put these seats forward. I just noticed these. So that kind of flattens it down, but actually you can lift these two up and take them away. You've got even more depth there. So actually it's even bigger than you think. So that's pretty impressive. Look at the back door. There's external space there. Definitely comfortable enough for 4 adults. Obviously you've got a 5th seat belt and someone could sit there. Otherwise it's just a bit of double cup holder central armrest. These are quite nice. I mean, it's quite nice looking. I'd rather have leather. It's got ambient lighting which you can see there, and you can change the colour, so that's quite nice. It's quite subtle. Double LCD screens, you'll see more of that going along. Aircon with the main buttons at one touch, which is always good rather than have to go into a touch screen. I think that's the most important thing you can have to access straight away, which is the aircon auto controls. Bit of storage there, you can lift that up. A bit more storage there with the USBs, both types. Cup holders. Well, there you go, not much more to say really. Let's get to the driving. Right, so here we are. So let's go. Bish bash bosh, bump. Oh wow. That goes over a bump, no problem whatsoever, especially compared to the cars I've had. Obviously the Ferrari was brutal over bumps, and Miura's not too bad but not good. The Porsche's a nightmare. The Integrale's very rigid, so that's a very pleasant surprise. First impression on the steering, by the way, I don't know what it is. Someone might be able to help with this. I mean, there is a power steering, well, there's a steering assist button. Not even sure what that bloody well means. I'm not going to go into the details of that sort of stuff. But when I turn the wheel, it seems to want to suddenly turn for me, and I find it really disconcerting. Now, people driving modern cars, don't forget, I'm an older car enthusiast, might know what that is and experience it, and they're well used to it. But obviously, it's hugely assisted. Oh yeah, even then, you kind of do a little turn of the wheel, and the car darts to one side. For me, it's far over assisted steering, far too much going on. Obviously it's the complete opposite of what you want in a sports car, but I concede it makes it super easy to steer, especially at slower speeds or in and around town. I get that, and that's what the focus of this review will probably be about how this is suitable for that. And let's forget about it being a sports car, of course. Other first impressions, the only thing electric on the seat is the lumbar support, and it's great that it's got that. I wouldn't buy a car without it. Everything else is manual, that's fine. It's often quicker than using electric controls, although memory seats is quite nice if you've got more than one person driving the car or as a passenger. Loving the steering wheel for the only reason that it feels so smooth. It's clearly not leather, it's some sort of synthetic thing. It's like so smooth, it's quite dexterous, and I'm actually quite enjoying it. Oh. Anyway, that's a very minor thing. Obviously you've got TFT screens, of course. Every car now has them, which is good because they're ultimately quite configurable. and you've got the usual CarPlay and Android Play connections, which are very easy to set up now. Everybody's now used to them in a modern car. The first time you come across one, you'll probably have a nightmare, but after that it's really simple. I haven't quite yet worked out when I turn the car on why it blasts out the aircon at full fan. Again, maybe a setting that was being left by the company that let me this car for hire. Another thing, it always starts up in kilometres an hour, which is really bloody frustrating. Again, also a setting. I did go there and change that to miles per hour, and that was fine on the go. And then when I stopped and now got in the car again, it's back to kilometres. What's that about? What a load of rubbish. That's bloody annoying. Anyway, these are obviously things that are sorted out in settings. I just haven't got the time and trouble and energy to go into it. But yeah, back to the seats. Absolutely fine. Pretty comfortable once you get in the right position. Pan roof, brilliant. I wouldn't get an SUV or large car without one. It's brilliant for rear seat passengers. And adds a bit of extra light in here for the front two, the driver and the passenger. Although you can't really see the lovely sky and trees above you as a driver. Visibility out the front and the side mirrors is exceptional. View out the back window, load of rubbish. I mean, it doesn't know I've got a GoPro camera there right now, but it's a really small letterbox, and this is really narrow as well. I mean, that's all we probably need for that narrow letterbox, but you've got to get an exact position to maximise your view out that already small pillar box back window. It's got 3 settings which you can easily adjust down here on your left on the central console. It's D mode, there's Eco, Standard and Sport. I mean, they all speak for themselves, I'm sure you all know what it means, but Sport means that the acceleration comes in quicker, holds the gear longer, just feels a bit more sporty. Standard says what it does, and Eco is the opposite of Sport. So if you want to drive around more conscious of using that petrol, then you put it in that and feel good about yourself. That little difference you're going to make for the planet. How lovely. All very sweet. Well, the aircon's working well. I am extremely cold. Whoa, look at that acceleration. Bosh. Bosh. I'll tell you what, another thing I've obviously given that I drive older cars, well, and a new car and a Lotus Emira, it's just how bloody smooth and easy everything is. Honestly, an old granny, no offence to old grannies out there, an old granny could drive this. You know, they'd probably get pensive about driving certain cars, but the steering is like so light, I could steer it with my tongue. The gear stick is so sweet and slick, I could probably blow it into gear. The pedals are light, everything works exactly as you'd expect. Brakes modern and strong, clutch is easy to push in, accelerators compliant. Oh, this is such an easy car to drive, and I think, you know, it's dawning on me, obviously that is great for families, but it's dawning on me that the ease of driving a car is really important as a daily driver. It takes away the stress. Now personally, if I was going to go that hog, I'd get a car with automatic. In fact, I'm surprised that they put a manual in this car. I think this car just begs for an automatic to make everything ultra easy, but great that it's got a manual gearbox, of course. Does it make it a driver's car? No, not exactly. It's missing a few boxes being ticked for that. Yeah, it's just that steering that I feel disconcerted about. I've been driving this now for about an hour on and off over a few days. Actually, probably more now, an hour and a half. And I still haven't got used to it. My brain hasn't still adjusted, and it should do really, to how that steering feels. I'm just so used to a more direct steering that has different properties as you steer further into it. And this one's just completely alien. Yeah, weird. I mean, it's not in the world stuff. You can still control it. Stereo is pretty good, by the way. Obviously it's got a standard stereo setup. I don't know if there's an upgrade like Bose, Harman Kardon sort of option. And the touch screen is easy to operate, and having Google Maps on a nice big screen actually is a real boon, I must admit. Getting into DAB, setting your channels, looking at other apps on the screen is super simple. No need to go in for that because there's other car videos out there for it. that will go into those sorts of details. I'm just going to tell you how I feel driving it, and to be honest, I'm feeling pretty good actually. Doesn't feather my ego like driving one of my sports cars, knowing that it's super rare and I feel like a god, but I do feel good. I'm driving a 24 car, whee! But I just generally feel good driving it because it's still enjoyable. It's still only a sharp jerk of steer or a punch of your right foot for having a little bit of speed and fun. You've still got the capacity to have a little bit of performance, just not in sports car realm. All in all, I think I'd certainly get a car with full leather. This the cloth seats look damn good, but I just don't think they're going to be as practical with children. I didn't want to like this car. It's so smooth. Another thing, it's so quiet. Who was it gone in the car with me? They thought it was an electric car because it looks like an electric car. It's got that modern electric sort of styling. And obviously a keen-eyed person will spot actually it's got a usable grille and it's got exhaust pipes. But if you don't spot that, you probably would assume it was electric. And being inside it, the only thing I'm hearing is perhaps a little bit of road noise from the tyres. There's no wind noise. It's very well made in that respect. And overall, the build quality seems absolutely fine up there with the Germans. And I think, to be fair, you'd expect that. Bump at speed, bang, bang. Oh, that was a proper big bump. There's no way I'd do that. I'd stop and crawl over it in my cars. On this one, let's have a look. That was 20 miles an hour over a bump. Didn't even notice it. I think I wouldn't even spilt my cup of tea. 25, similar bump. Not that much worse. Let's go to 30, which is the limit of the road. Hardly any difference again. Wow. Oh, God, this car's good, isn't it? Ah, dear. Well, I have some kind of psychological problem against new cars because I always believe there's a car out there for a third of the price that's going to be much more engaging, because I find engagement is my #1 requisite for a car to make me feel alive. I love that. The older the car, usually, the better. But there are sweet spots in any car's evolution, of course. Okay, yeah, I think I'll move on to the summary there. Wow, colour me surprised. Well, that's damn annoying, damn frustrating. What's a flawless car for what it's meant to do? What it is meant to do, ferrying people and furniture and objects and your prized possessions, your children around in comfort and safety, economically. It's bloody brilliant at it. I mean, you can't fault it in that respect. So actually, I remain quite impressed by this car overall, and I can see its validity in any family situation, 100%. I'm surprised for the money involved that there's a better car out there for that job, to be fair. I mean, it's that good. If you're actually planning to get one, then feel free to ask some questions in the comments below. I'll be completely brutally honest about it, and you might be able to delve in some of the details I didn't manage to get through on the short review, because it wasn't really about my review of this car of itself. It was about me, can a petrolhead enjoy the car? And actually, yeah, I did. Truth be told, I enjoy every single car ever built, because for me, cars are pure fun. I had a Nissan Micra 1 litre L 35 years ago. In fact, it was actually my girlfriend's soon-to-be wife's car, and I really enjoyed it, thrashing it around, brilliant fun. So it's about how a car makes one feel, and no car has a monopoly on that. On that note, aid out, ride safe, drive safe out there, take care, see you later.